Welcome to Knowledge Series. You can bank on me for latest analysis of policies that are announced by Reserve Bank of India and other government agencies so that we can know the perspectives of how the financial system is going to pan out. In the current episode, we are going to talk about the monetary policy which has been released by Reserve Bank of India on 6th of August 2021. It will provide us an in-depth analysis of how the economy is going to pan out. Coming back to the monetary policy, as expected, the monetary policy has kept the policy rates intact. That is, repo rate at 4% and reverse repo at 3.35%. The last RBI has made the change on May 22, 2020, when the repo rate was reduced from 4.4% to 4%. That was the last change. And for last 7 consecutive reviews, the interest rates have been kept steady. Now coming to the macroeconomic indicators, the most concerning is the rising inflation, not only in India, but globally because of the rise in commodity prices. Taking a cue from these escalation of the inflation trends, many of the economies have already started raising the benchmark rates. The Brazil, Russia, Turkey, these are all some of the economies which have already raised the interest rates. But RBI is very much convinced that the trajectory of inflation is transitory, and as and when the supply side dynamics are sorted out, and when the crude oil prices gets moderated, because now the OPEC countries have agreed to bring back the oil production to pre-COVID levels. That is, of course, by September 2022. But since it will have an impact on the futures of oil prices, it will have some impact on the spot prices as well. And the very sentiments of rise in the oil output will impact the inflation trajectory. As far as India is concerned, it is very good to see that the monsoon is very active and agriculture is doing very well. And many of the macroeconomic indicators are showing signs of positive growth. Because the PMI, that is the Purchasing Managers Index of manufacturing and service sector, though they have dropped during the months of May and June, they are bouncing back during July, and the tendency is expected to be up as far as these macroeconomic dimensions are concerned. Based on this, we can consider inflation as transitory. Even then, because the upside risks are persisting in inflation dynamics, RBI has revised its outlook on the inflation from 5.1 to 5.7 for the year 2022. It is going to cool down as we go forward. But as far as 2022 financial year is concerned, the expected inflation is to be at 5.7%. That is within the comfort level of RBI on the upper edge, because RBI is supposed to control the inflation within the glide path, that is 4% plus or minus 2%. That is, the inflation should lie somewhere between 2% to 6%. So that is as far as inflation is concerned. Now, as far as GDP is concerned, RBI has kept the outlook steady at 9.5%. Though recently IMF has brought down its projections from 12.5% to 9.5%. That is a steep decline it is expecting. And World Bank has estimated 8.3% as the likely GDP for the year 2022. So going by these statistics and Government of India, of course, 10.5%. Going by these statistics, we can say that the GDP will be lying somewhere between 9.5% to 10.5% during the financial year FY 2022. Now, RBI has given some kind of support in the form of extending the duration of on-tap availability of liquidity under TLTRO. That is what we call targeted long-term repo operations. So this on-tap facility is now available up to 31st of December 2021. Now, as far as RBI support is concerned, the marginal standing facility under which the banks can dip into the NDTL up to 3% of NDTL, and that facility has also been extended for up to 31st of December. So these two measures, when put together with other support measures, I think the economy will be able to come out of the slowdown which it has experienced during the second wave of coronavirus. Now, against this backdrop, when we look at some of the indicators, that is the excess liquidity in the system is expected to be around 11 trillion. That is, and to compensate that, the RBI is going to increase the size of auction of variable rate of reverse repo from 2 trillion earlier to 4 trillion now. And some of the market players are viewing this as sucking of the liquidity. But I think it is too early to take such a call as far as these liquidity measures are concerned, because there is ample liquidity that is available in the system, and as we go forward, we will be comfortable regarding the liquidity measures are concerned. So, with as far as the impact of the monetary policy measures are concerned, the average lending rate, that is weighted average lending rate, has come down by 217 basis point as against the drop in repo rate by 250 basis point when we compare it with February 2019. From 2019 February till now, the repo rate has been brought down by 250 basis point. As against that, the pass on, the transmission which has happened is very satisfactory, that 217 basis point average lending rates have come down. So that is a good sign as far as the process of transmission of monetary policy measures are concerned. And there is also an impact on the bond prices and also the yields on the in the markets. These measures are giving a sign of low interest rates as far as the economy is concerned. When all these measures are put together, we can say that the monetary policy is very, very optimistic, and it is expecting a rebound of the economy much faster than we anticipated earlier, and we will be in a better position to control various aspects. But one point which has been always a matter of concern is the slow growth of the credit in the banking system. The credit growth has to increase. Of course, it has increased from 5.7% to I think around 6.2% now in the as far as YOY is concerned, year-on-year change is concerned. So now there is some uptick as far as the lending is concerned, bank lending is concerned. I think more is to come. And as far as restructuring of the assets are concerned, the banks will have to be very considerate as far as providing restructuring facility is concerned within the framework of the RBI scheme. And whatever measures have been taken under restructuring 1.0, the time lag for that has now been extended for another 6 months, that is up to March 2022. So they get some 6 months window to improve their financial parameters, keeping in view the ongoing stress in the system is concerned. So when we wrap up the whole issue, we come to a very good conclusion that the economy is poised for a good growth as we go forward, and the market players will be in a better position to access finance from the system, and banks will be in a better position to restart and accelerate their lending to the industry so that the revival quickens. So this is all as far as the monetary policy sum up is concerned. And there is one off-track news items which will have a bearing on the future of trade and commerce. That is the apex court, that is the Honorable Supreme Court, has stayed the merger of Biani Group, that is the Futures Group, and the Reliance Industries, and because the Amazon has gone for that to the Supreme Court. So friends, it has been a good experience to talk to all of you and be in touch with all of you. I would request that put your comments on the comment box and share the video, because the very intention of running this knowledge series, and you can bank on me for the analysis, is to disseminate knowledge to the next generation of youth who are going to be connected to the financial system, which is going to be much more aggressive than what it is today. So the importance is the risks are emanating from the system, and the financial sector people should be very, very sensitive as far as the changes that are happening and the thoughtful move of the regulators and the government in driving the trajectory of growth. So we should always be in touch, and we should keep learning so that we are in a position to drive the economy in the right direction. Thank you so much, and I look forward for your views in the comment box. Thank you so much.